Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Today's show is brought to you by the Secrets of Successful Syndication. This 2-day workshop will unlock the keys to the kingdom in terms of how you take your investing career to the next level. Almost all professional developers use syndication to scale their business. And when I talk with deal sponsors, I hear over and over again that it's access to capital that's the number one thing holding them back. It's going to be September 25th and 26th, later this week, Friday, Saturday, 2 full days of amazing content. This event is put on by my good friends at the Real Estate Guys radio show. I've been to a lot of events all over the world, and I've got to tell you, this is one of the best events of its kind anywhere. It's going to be a virtual event. We're still in the COVID-19 environment, so definitely you're going to want to watch this on Zoom. To find out more, go to victorjm.com/events. That's victorjm.com/events. We are back. On today's show, we're talking about how to get access to high-value market data for free. That's right, for free. I'm a big believer in getting access to market data and using that data to make decisions. I also believe that independently developed market studies are essential to making sure you're not deluding yourself. Whenever there's a new commercial project undertaken anywhere in North America, you can bet there's going to be a third-party market study behind it. These studies are both expensive and time-consuming. And before you take on a project, through the entire process of entitlement and a capital raise, you're going to want to commission a market study of your own. But before you commit significant resources to a project, it might be nice to get a hold of an existing study that would help you understand the dynamics of the market. That kind of early look at the market can save you a lot of time and money by allowing you to validate and refine your product concept. And on today's show, I'm going to give you a shortcut. We know that work performed by government bodies carries with it a requirement for transparency. Now, that doesn't mean that governments publish all the work they do, and in fact, they keep some things secret. In fact, they don't publish that much, but you can often get a hold of a lot of information from government bodies through a formal access to information request. Almost all levels of government have a formal access to information process. And in the United States, the Freedom of Information Act generally provides that any person has the right to request information from a federal agency, except to the extent that records are protected from disclosure by any one of 9 exemptions or by up to 3 special law enforcement exclusions. The 9 exemption categories that would allow governments to withhold information are, number 1, if it's classified for national defense or foreign policy reasons. Number 2, it contains internal personnel records and practices. Number 3, the information is exempt under some other legislation. Number 4, trade secrets or confidential business information. Number 5, if it's interagency or intra-agency letters or emails that are protected by legal privileges. Number 6, personal and medical files. Number 7, law enforcement records. Number 8, information concerning bank supervision. Or number 9, geological or geophysical information. And then the 3 exemptions have basically to do with law enforcement. If there's an ongoing criminal investigation, you're not going to be able to get access to that information. So pretty much anything else is fair game. In Canada, these requests are also covered by access to information legislation. In Canada, you can use the government's online application and you can search their database of summaries of already released access to information requests from all government institutions. If you find the information of interest, you can request the previously released documents directly from the search results. There's no fee for these requests, and the service standard is a response within 30 days. So if you're looking for market studies that can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to produce, you might just find the information you're looking for already exists and can be secured by asking the relevant government department to send it to you. Now, a market study and an appraisal are not exactly the same thing, but they often contain much of the same information. I recently made a request to a government department for a market study in the industrial sector. They responded that they didn't have the specific market study I was looking for. However, they did have an appraisal for several comparable properties in the area. Would I like to see a copy of the appraisal instead? Well, clearly the answer was yes. The appraisal was a 54-page document that was jam-packed with sufficient market data to meet my needs at the start of a project. It showed more information than I was expecting. It showed annual absorption of square footage by neighborhood within the city. It showed total inventory and vacancy by neighborhood. It showed average rent per square foot. It even disclosed who the tenants were. So what did this cost me? It cost me a single email in about 10 days and a follow-up email. The appraisal was a little more than a year old. And would I ultimately commission my own market study? Of course. but to get a project validated and to help refine the product concept, that document was more than sufficient, and it was free. As you think about that, consider using your government's access to information under the Freedom of Information Act. Have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.